In fact, I could discover that Japan also Shintoism group, Shintoism it is called.
Okay.
They have this, the
Concept.
worship, yeah.
Okay.
And Egyptians also, I found.
So how did your journey, when did your journey start? IAS journey. Good evening and welcome to the Saturday Show. Today we have a very special guest and it is my honor to introduce you to Mr. Hage Kojeen. From a DC to Secretary to the Governor, former State Election Commissioner and founder of many socio-cultural organizations, IAS on the lateral entry from the batch of 1993 AGMAT. Please welcome Mr. Hage Kojeen, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
Thank you very much for inviting me to.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
So how did your journey, when did your journey start? IAS journey.
IAS journey, well, my journey जो शुरू हुआ वो तो विलेज गांव का स्कूल से हरी बस्ती हरी विलेज प्राइमरी स्कूल था तो वहाँ 1961 में शुरू हुआ तो प्राइमरी बोर्ड एग्जाम वाज क्लियर्ड इन 1965 में पास करके फिर मिडिल स्कूल में गया हिजा मिडिल स्कूल वाज न्यूली अपग्रेडेड तो वहाँ हम लोग किया पैदल में फिर 3 साल वहाँ मिल के 1969 में हम लोग फिर पास आउट होके जीरो स्कूल में गया हायर सेकेंडरी जीरो स्कूल एंड we were actually under altogether different course that is metric system. Metric system in the sense under Secondary Board of Education Assam.
Okay.
Seva. And class 10 ka baad we had to go to Pasigat. So Pasigat pre-university फिर BA. तो 96-97 में हम लोग का ग्रेजुएशन पास आउट होके यूनिवर्सिटी में चला गया मैं तो डिब्रूगढ़ यूनिवर्सिटी वाज द नियरेस्ट सबसे नजदीक था तो आई डिसाइडेड टू बी देयर moreover little bit of substitute work in all in radio आप पता नहीं प्रोग्राम वही से ब्रॉडकास्ट हुआ था ना पहले अभी तो ईटानगर में है तो वहाँ में थोड़ा सब्स्टिट्यूट मेरा एक अंकल काम कर रहा था तो बीच बीच में थोड़ा मिलता था पैसा थोड़ा पॉकेट मनी के लिए हो जाता है इसलिए वही हम यूनिवर्सिटी में एडमिशन लेके किया तो रियल जर्नी फॉर IAS started after graduation and post graduation only. Yeah.
So like you already you did your BA. You did your BA in history.
Yeah.
तो कहीं ना कहीं you were in the field of arts. तो did you consciously choose arts because आपको IAS के लिए वो करना है arts के थ्रू जाएगा करके या or like you had an interest in history or arts in general?
Yeah, actually during high school stage when we had to choose whether arts or science streams, say in class 7-8 like that, no. And I had an option for science also because I was very good in biology. I was very good in maths. So overall, I have been a topper. So classmate to topper ही था.
That's what I've heard.
तो इसीलिए हेडमास्टर एक शर्मा बोल के एक यहाँ हायर सेकेंडरी का जो था मुझे कान पकड़ के बोला है तुम ये टेक्निकल लाइन में अच्छा है जाओ डॉक्टर के लिए फिट है मेडिकल में जाओ तो मेरे को तो इंजीनियरिंग में भी जा सकता है साइंस स्ट्रीम पकड़ो नॉलेज के लिए भी अच्छा है बोल रहा था लेकिन एक अभी डॉक्टर हागे तो जॉइंट डायरेक्टर रिटायर्ड तो वो भी हमारा क्लासमेट था तो हम लोग जाके वो गांव में मेरा पिताजी को because he was a public person ना मैंने honorary secretary of the village उस समय का तो he used to get some exposure going outside. Delhi में भी गया था, 1 month रहा, तो met Prime Minister Nehru and Rajendra Prasad.
Back in 60s?
Yeah, 1960.
Okay.
हाँ, तो वैसा exposure करके थोड़ा मैंने enlightened mind में बैठ रहा था ना. Then he used to always inspire and he used to always encourage तो मैंने arts में जानना है. मतलब his concept was limited to arts, and he had the feeling that only arts students can become circle officer.
Okay.
He was dealing with circle officer.
Okay.
Those days when Tomo was there.
Okay.
Very powerful, you know.
Former CM.
Yeah,
from
former
PPL.
CM. Later on,
Okay,
he
okay.
resigned the job and then become chief minister also. Joined politics. So those days, judiciary was not separate, no. Therefore, the power was vested with civil servant.
Okay.
So the cases were settled and all these things. And then my father used to come down for mail, sitting and all these things, no. And then used to see how powerful, administrators. So you might have asked somebody, our science का तो concept नहीं था. So then he had the feeling that I must do arts.
Okay.
And then Dr. Tam was the witness.
Okay.
He bluntly refused. I will not finance if you go for any other stream.
Okay.
I must do arts and become circle officer.
Okay.
That is why I had no option but to go like this. And then after the honors in history. And accordingly, after graduation, then for post-graduation, also naturally, history was my, specialization.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So your dad has been a figure जो आपको हमेशा administrator बनना है, administration में जाना है करके.
Yeah.
Wow. So IAS, when you say IAS, there are different type of entry. Yours is one such. So please enlighten us about the different modes of entry to being an IAS officer.
Yeah. IAS has basically 3 entry gates.
Okay, 3.
The first one is competitive examination conducted by UPSC.
Okay.
Right? Open competitions. And second is through state civil services.
Okay.
You can get into IAS at a particular stage when you become senior. No?
Okay.
So third gate is rather difficult gate. It is a lateral entry.
Okay. What?
Lateral entry.
Okay.
It is state civil service officer belonging to any department,
Okay.
having attained a particular level of seniority,
Okay.
directors and all this thing. No?
Okay.
So having very good track records, performance records and all that. So those people are recommended for UPSC interview. So I was lucky to be one of them.
Okay.
And then I faced UPSC interview. Then luckily I got selected. So that way, I actually reported. I tried in the first gate.
Okay.
Way back in 1983. I was in Allahabad, in coaching center,
Okay.
a pre-coaching center, it is called All India Pre-Coaching Center for IAS, especially meant for SC, ST.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was there, and in fact I was quite hopeful. I was quite confident because among 80 students there receiving coaching, I was the topper again.
Okay.
So I was overconfident rather that I'll make it. But as the ill luck had it, that year, my attempt in the question examination, while attempting the question papers, wrong methodology was adopted.
Okay.
In the sense, there is a compulsory question, map question, with descriptions and all that. And rest, of course, you have choice, That compulsory question I attempted first, And here I devoted too much of time.
Okay.
Trying to do the best, but forgot that time is limited. Later on, I discovered that half of the time is gone. So मेरा दिमाग घुर गया. तो बाकी 5 क्वेश्चन को हम कैसा डिवाइड करेगा? Just hardly 1.5 hours. 1.5 hours is over. तो उसमें मेरा चक्कर में गिर के mental balance was lost and all this thing. So therefore, I could not actually do well in that paper, no. तो इसीलिए थोड़ा सा अनलकी हो गया.
Okay.
तो इसलिए I used to tell people, मैंने students अभी जो experience लोगों को कि while attempting question paper, go to the easiest one. Do that, then you get settled, and then the tough one and all this thing can be attempted subsequently. And compulsory question generally becomes a little tough, no? But for me, every question was easy. So because of sometimes all competence in case.
The right approach, matters a lot.
That was that. Then second, the first gate was, over. So of course I did not go for the second time. It would have been possible for the second time. But because of some family circumstances, I could not go. Even after clearing a prelim, next time also. Then second gate, state civil services, I tried in 1980 also.
Okay.
Directly to TAC batch.
Okay.
And there also I was quite confident because being a university topper. So I thought that I'll make it. But unluckily, posts were limited to 8 PhDs, and then I was out of that list. I was kept in 9, that's waiting list, the panel. So later on, somebody went to the court, got the High Court and filed, and then brought the documents revealing the marks and all these things. So I found that I could have been easily accommodated.
Okay.
If 2, ineligible people were not included there.
Achha.
Ineligible in the sense they were overage and outsider.
But they were included.
They were included to facilitate their promotion. They were already working as a circle officer for several years, more than 20-25 years.
Okay.
And I think promotion quota was adjusted, and they, after condoning their age illegally, it's managed, something like that. That was a very sad part. So I went to the court, and later on, and it took a long time. And by the time when court gave verdict, in my favor, so all these same batch people become like a DC and all these things, level director. So I can't join as a EAC, junior EAC. So I left that option. And then the only gate was the third gate.
Okay.
So I have to perform well in the profession, because without that you can't.
Without a good track record.
So I was surrendering. My goal is to achieve. So luckily, I was given a quick promotion as a director in information department, and in that meantime, this lateral quota, one quota was available. So I competed and got it. It's my good luck, and that compensated my loss. Back in 1980.
With the EAC.
EAC.
Okay.
So the story goes.
Okay. So but you never gave up on your goal of becoming an IAS. So that's a very good thing. Your persistence. That you have to reach a point that is like IAS, and you made sure you reached that point. So kudos to you. So during your tenure, through your entire career, was there any challenging moment for you? You had to stress and struggle. It was tough.
ऐसा बोलने से तो my 43 years service में civil servant, as a civil servant, I had many events and appearances. So, but immediately I can recall the recent it should be 2020
Okay.
कोविड पीरियड में जब जो पंचायत इलेक्शन होल्ड किया था म्यूनसिपैलिटी इलेक्शंस यू नो it was very very challenging.
Okay.
And as a state election commissioner, I had the mandate to conduct as per the constitution. You know,
Okay.
I had no option, and there was a court direction also because people went to the court,
Okay.
file PIL and all that. Why delay? The first 2 years delay was caused because the state government was, you know, amending the existing Panchayat Raj Act 1997,
Okay.
and they wanted to convert, you know, from 3-tier to 2-tier.
Okay.
That was mandated under 93rd, 73rd and 74th Amendment, you know. So I had to wait for that. And then again, when the commission was ready to hold elections, then, you know, this COVID pandemic came. So we had to again defer for another few months, you know, 6 months like that. So then finally I had to take a call. But despite the fact that even the state government was not very inclined, the health department was opposing, and then all political parties,
Okay.
they were opposing,
Okay.
and including all this apex student body like APSU, and so many other organizations, even teacher organizations were, you know, telling me they will not cooperate, something like that.
Okay.
So I had to give a little bit of warning to them, you know, threatening, you know. So it's an election matter. If you do not mobilize, I mean, if you do not do your duty, service will be at stake. So I won't be able to help you. So it's a very serious. So later on, I now compromise and all this thing. So, and then I had to work out the COVID guidelines separately, apart from the general guidelines जो भी है, उसका अलावा मैंने अलग से ये करके, so that, you know, peacefully it can be conducted, you know, even for the COVID patients. So luckily, it went out very well, and finally, state government must have been also happy because job was done. So that was a very challenging one.
Okay. That too during COVID time, like
COVID
and everyone was opposing.
Yeah,
Not less than.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was.
I was physically threatened also.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay.
So I said nothing doing. So my mandate है.
That was your work.
As a constitutional authority, I had to.
Okay. Okay. By the way, you also received 2 silver medals from the Ministry of Home Affairs. What was it about? Aapka?
Yeah. Silver medal in 2001, one from the President of India. That was for the, you know, the excellent conduct of census.
Okay. Census.
2001
Okay.
census. As Deputy Commissioner Teju,
Okay.
you know. So second was also, incidentally, I was posted as director census at Puducherry, you know, Pondicherry earlier it was called Puducherry. This was an additional charge I was holding as director census. Otherwise, I was secretary to Lieutenant Governor, plus secretary in charge for 5-6 departments, you know. And so there also I ensured, you know, smooth sailing, and the Puducherry was the first UT to report completion, you know, in India as a whole.
Okay.
So I was awarded twice by Home Ministry. Award was given at the hand of President Pranab Mukherjee. You know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were first posted as a DC in Tezu, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So how was your first experience being a DC, a district commissioner?
Yeah.
first time?
It's, I think you have had a very interesting question. I was very enthusiastic after becoming newly elected to IAS. So I landed there. It was summer,
Okay.
and incidentally, heavy rains, incessant rains, floods, hammocks, all this thing was happening.
Okay.
So I had to put up a very tough sort of, job, and then I conducted meetings and all that, including the then minister from that particular district. And the normally government funding and all this thing is quite delayed, processes are there. But I had to save the youth. It's being threatened by flood, There's a mad river called Digadu River.
Okay,
So it's a tributary region. Then it's a very unpredictable river. Courses change, इसमें बंद का ये मैंने कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ बंद प्रोटेक्टिव बंद ना had to be that एक सूखा नाला बोल के एक जगह था उसमें ब्रीच होके मैंने entire even air street was on the threat. So finally town was on the threat. So then I mobilized entire local resources जो डीसी का डिस्क्रिप्शन में है या DRDA का या PWD का या any other department का जो main material everything plus the 5 surrounding villages लोगों को बुला के काम भाग कर दिया 12 days social services टाइप का ऑर्गेनाइज करके अपना पैक लंच ले आओ खाओ तो हम लोग तो ऐसा इतना नहीं पिला सकेगा आप लोग फिर काम ये आपका भाग है तो इसको कंप्लीट करना ऐसा करके it was a Herculean sort of exercise and then Ulubari then 32 mile ऐसा जगह है उसमें stranded people some 160 or 70 people were there. Side भी नहीं जा सकते side. I had to requisition a helicopter, to evacuate them, bring
emergency
them
evacuation
like that. This was the first immediately after I joined here. That month was happening, very exciting.
Quite a lot of thrills and adventures and challenges.
Still I remember. And one DAPO was there out of that evacuated person who was
Stranded.
Yeah, stranded. That I forgot the name. He's a IAS officer. Newly he came to join there. Out of fear. डर में वो मैंने वापस चला गया and never returned.
Oh, never returned back to Arunachal.
इस condition में हम लोग काम नहीं कर सकेंगे. So there are so many stories.
It's now I'm sure it sounds very interesting, and you especially telling us about it. I'm sure that the nostalgia. It's very amazing.
Yeah.
So you you were one of the brightest students in your batch, always making sure that you're top in your class. So other than that, also during your student life, you dwell into student leadership. You even joined APSU.
Yes.
Tell us about your life in APSU.
Well, APSU में 1974 में I got elected as assistant general secretary. तो 75 तक रहा फिर 75-76 में मेरा वांगया पोंगते बोल के जनरल सेक्रेटरी था वो दिपांग हो गया तो हेल्थ रीजन ना क्या रीजन ना मालूम नहीं तो मैंने I had to take up entire issues whatever is to be addressed by APSU तो फुल चार्ज हम ये करके सेकेंड थर्ड ईयर ना सब चला के बहुत सारा एक्टिविटीज we carried out. One or two example I can give you how dedicated we were,
Okay, please.
So दापोरिजो में एक स्टूडेंट्स का कुछ इशू था प्रॉब्लम था between two communities, students of Tagins and students of Galo. वहाँ में एक भारत दर्शन बोल के पहले एक स्कीम था. तो स्टूडेंट्स को सिलेक्ट करके मैंने भेजा गया था टूर में उसी सिलेक्शन में इन लोगों का झगड़ा हो गया. तो फिर इट वाज टर्निंग एज ए कम्युनल सॉर्ट ऑफ तो वेरी सीरियस हो गया. तो लॉ एंड ऑर्डर सिचुएशन हो गया फिर CRP बेटा के हॉस्टल में वैकेट कर दिया, लोग सब अपना अपना गांव में जाके अपना अपना आदमी को बताया, क्या क्या बताया, फिर आर्म एंड एमुनिशन दे वर रेडी टू फाइट, यू नो.
Okay.
सो उस टाइम का अनडिवाइडेड सुबनसिरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट का वो दादर टांग साहब वाज मिनिस्टर.
Okay.
He went there and tried to solve. Could not solve. Product Tulum MLA to time he could not solve. तो इधर एक सुसेन पावल के EAC जुडिशियल ये अनरूली ग्रुप आके ये EAC जुडिशियल को मैंने चाकू से भी मारने के लिए ऐसा हाँ विंडो तोड़ के ऐसा भी कोशिश किया था. इसलिए 5-6 people were you know turned out expelled from this thing. No, you can't once expelled and you can't take admission anywhere in Madhya Pradesh. ये ऐसा टाइप का तो एक्शन लिया गया है. तो सिचुएशन में देन बिकॉज ये तो स्टूडेंट्स का प्रॉब्लम है ना, इसलिए इट इज आवर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी, करियर का सवाल है. तो अक्षु जैन कॉलेज का एक जनरल सेक्रेटरी ये मेरा दोस्त था, वेरी क्लोज फ्रेंड, was also same batch ना, Tako Dabul. He became minister and all this thing later on. तो उनको हम दोनों मैंने लेके फिर ऑल दी कॉलेज स्टूडेंट्स फ्रॉम दापोरिजो, तो दापोरिजो से 10 था, उन लोग को पूरा ले जाके तो भाई लोग को तो समझा के हम लोग सेटल करना पड़ेगा. जाके ऑन द वे ये जो लिखा वाली में दादा तंग साहब को मिला है साहब को गेस्ट हाउस में ना. वी वेंट इन फॉर ईटिंग ब्रेकफास्ट आई मीन द लंच. तो उन्होंने बोला भाई टीবিলাক ক'ত গৈ আছে, तो इन आसामीज तो which said that दापोरिजो में ऐसा ऐसा घटना हुआ है. हाँ मैं तो तार पर आया थी तो भगवान गले भी नहीं पारे. मैंने इवन द गॉड वी कैन नॉट सॉल्व ऐसा टाइप का. तो एनीवे आप लोग जा रहा है तो जाके देखिए ना. तो देन वी वेंट एंड वी stayed there, believe me, 21 days at the cost of my honors classes. And left and right every stakeholder का साथ हम लोग ये एक्सरसाइज करके बातचीत करके फाइनली सोल्यूशन में लाया. हाँ तो इट इज अ वेरी हिस्टोरिक sort of you know I mean event for as far as the student upshoe. So like that for communal harmony. During my period as acting general secretary, I went to different places like Mebo में भी थोड़ा सा छोटा मोटा प्रॉब्लम था, फिर नामसाई में भी एक गालो एंड खम्ती का प्रॉब्लम था. I had to call upon first MP from Arunachal जो खमम को है ना, इन लोग का चीफ बोलता है. तो ऐसा करके मैंने we used to give very constructive cooperation to the state government. Because to one side was the chief minister, first chief minister. हम जब भी आता है तो बाइकी तो अकेले हमारे इन आसाम में चीज तो very comfortably you know तो थोड़ा बात करना है like that level. And he in fact indicated that I could take up any adjournment in formation of youth congress or student wing of congress like that. Na, I said, I'm sorry, because I'm good in academics, so I can't just tolerate that my batchmate will just do the better graduation, post graduation. I will just leave it. So बाद में हम सोचेगा ऐसा करके. And had it not been the case for getting into IAS, in fact, that was another option.
True. With the number of conflicts and things that you've solved being the general secretary, so I'm sure which the MLAs also couldn't solve. So that is also not just an option. That was another 100% sure option guaranteed.
So finally, Bomdila में general conference बैठा के नेक्स्ट ईयर में, तो वहाँ में रिंचिन खारू को chief guest बुलाया. Rinchin, you know who is Rinchin Kharu? He is the father of Kiran Rijiju.
Okay,
He
okay,
was
okay.
MLA then.
Okay,
उस टाइम में वो MLA था.
okay.
हाँ. तो अभी का जो हमारा मंत्री किरण रिजिजू जी का वो तो छोटा था.
Okay.
And his father was my friend.
Wow.
Yeah. That is why Rijiju ji used to have a lot of regard for me. मेरा ऑटोबायोग्राफी का भी फॉरवर्ड किया है.
I did so. That's a message.
तो ऐसा we used to be very, socially useful, unlike situation today.
Okay. So being a part of APSU, kahin na kahin, after coming back to Zero, you were one of the founding members, founders actually, to say it out loud, founders of AYA.
Yes.
You were like, हम लोग को यहाँ पे भी चाहिए.
Yes.
तो उसका बारे में बताइए.
हाँ, while being in APSU, vacation में हम लोग यहाँ में आया. Then we thought that we should, it is time that we should organize our youth, थोड़ा एक organize type होने से कुछ productivity आएगा. हाँ, you can disseminate many good information so about the government or the development and like that social events are there. इसको हम लोग थोड़ा ये individually तो नहीं सकेगा. तो इसीलिए इसको थोड़ा पोस्ट ये हम लोग का ये करना है. तो इसीलिए हाबुंग पायेंग वाइस सेक्रेटरी ऑफ हायर सेकेंडरी स्कूल स्टूडेंट्स यूनियन. तो पायेंग को बुला के he was made convener. I was also a member in the convener. So I think Kagogenda was also there. तो अवतानी हॉल में हम लोग का मीटिंग करके अंडर द चेयरमैनशिप ऑफ पादी जोबे, डेट पादी जोबे, उस टाइम में वो प्रदेश काउंसिल मेंबर था. तो ऐसा करके हम लोग शुरू किया 74 में. एंड फाइनली आवर ऑब्जेक्टिव पर्पस जिसके लिए हम किया था वो भी अचीव किया. क्योंकि विद द सपोर्ट ऑफ डिस्ट्रिक्ट एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन तो हम लोग गांव-गांव में कैंप करके ये फाइन इम्पोज किया. 500 जो लोग वायलेट करेगा, हाँ, जैसे कि चाइल्ड मैरिज, जैसे कि यालू लिशु वी कॉल ना, तो मैंने कंपटीशन इन डैमेजिंग assets and all this thing, like that take two system, na, all this evolution. Those days it was a fashion to have all this tattoos and all this, na. So they are very much against the point. अभी तो लोग सोचता है अच्छा किया है. इसीलिए आया is still alive today and doing a lot of productive works, no.
True.
So my best wishes are always with them. Yes.
One of the founders, and then kahin na kahin it also led you to be one of the precursors for creating ACLS back in 1987.
Oh yes. So, side by side हम देखा है कि हमारा जो कम्युनिटी के लिए मैंने एक लिटरेरी फोरम चाहिए, कल्चरल फोरम चाहिए, through which all the intellectual, those who are having aptitude for that, they can at least contribute. तो इसीलिए हम पासीघाट में बैठ के आदि कल्चर लिटरेरी सोसाइटी को देखा है. एनुअल कन्वेंशन करके इन लोग का बहुत सारा एक्टिविटी होता है. तो इसीलिए आई स्टार्टेड दिस Upton Culture Literary Society as the founder chairman. And before my departure from here on next posting, I had the first ever publication called Hulupan. Hulupan. It's in Apatani. Hulu means knowledge. Panu means giver, giver of knowledge, That copy is still with me sometimes. कभी मौका होगा तो आके देख सकता है.
Sure.
Very interesting, that contents are also there. Yeah. So I wanted that this should be continued by the successive, executive body members, even after my departure. But some did some kind of publications like customary laws and all this thing. बट वो रेगुलर पब्लिकेशन लोग टेकअप नहीं किया। तो इस बार हम ये जो अभी गवर्नमेंट में ACLS है, बिकॉज अर्लियर इट यूज्ड टू फंक्शन ऑलमोस्ट लाइक एपेक्स बॉडी ना, इसमें तो एडुकेटेड एल्डरली लोग ही मैंने चला रहा था। तो इसीलिए आफ्टर द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ TST तो ये थोड़ा गवर्नमेंट में है। हम एडवाइस किया है कि आप ऐसे मत बेचिए, थोड़ा लिटरेरी एक्टिविटीज वी शुड डू इट टू इनकरेज यंग टैलेंट्स। तो वो थोड़ा होना चाहिए।
ACLS acting as an apex body back in the days, और कहीं ना कहीं it led to the formation of our present day apex body Tanas Punduku. So
Right.
you were a part of it as well.
Yeah.
So tell us the aims and objectives to which you formed Tanas Punduku.
हाँ, एक्चुअली एपेक्स एक चाहिए बोल के जब आदमी लोग बोला है तो वाई इट इज रिक्वायर्ड। तो बाद में देखा है तो ये लोग बोला है कि नहीं, अभी ACLS बोलने से भी ये अपन कल्चरल लिटरेरी सोसाइटी का है, तो to represent in the government level or to represent with the other community level organizations, थोड़ा सा हमारा nomenclature थोड़ा सा मैंने एपेक्स बॉडी चाहिए। हाँ, तो it should be very effective and powerful. तो there are many NGOs in Zero area. अपतानी में भी वुमेन विंग है, यूथ विंग है, ऐसा गांबुरा ऐसा टाइप का मैंने सारा बहुत NGOs है ना। तो from among the NGOs also sometimes clashes take place. कुछ मैंने डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियंस क्या क्या इशू छोटा छोटा उसका जो कोई सेटल करने के लिए कुछ एपेलेट अथॉरिटी तो चाहिए ना। तो इसीलिए दैट वाज वन रीजन व्हाई द एपेक्स बॉडी हैड टू बी थॉट ऑफ। सेकंड रीजन इज दैट टू any issue to be taken up with the state government or the district administration and or any other tribes, So we need that kind of, response. Thirdly, the objective was that some developmental intervention we take सकता है। If suppose the panchayats are not properly working, if the honorable MLA is not properly working, or misusing certain funds, so this apex body can always intervene because they are the part of the apex banner. So therefore this was conceived. And finally we had Nishi Apatani Historic Summit also, which sent a very good message, because earlier it used to be every issue was tended to be communalized. तो वो चीज आजकल वो पूरा मैसेज अच्छा से चला गया। I was chairman of the governing council, the first governing council, and in that capacity I was privileged to have the honor of addressing a keynote address, in that summit also, and both in English and Assamese. I mean the Apatani. I spoke the clear message, and consequently, it has a very positive effect.
I'm glad that the apex body was formed. कहीं ना कहीं we can see day to day. अभी recent times में भी Zero पे भी different programs are being carried out by them. अभी road का हो गया, they always put up elimination का हो गया, they've always put up things कि ऐसा क्यों नहीं हो रहा है. They've always criticized MLA government and demanding things for the betterment and development of Zero. So I'm glad कि ऐसा भी है. Talking about हम लोग का Zero या ऐसा in general cultural values कहीं ना कहीं बहुत important है. तो cultural में वही से हम लोग का religious values भी बहुत आता है. You attended, you were part of 29th World Congress, International Religious Freedom in South Korea, जिसपे the importance of religion के ऊपर you talked and you went. उसके बारे में थोड़ा बताइए.
Okay, that was long ago, 1996.
1996.
August. For a week, there was a Congress of, IARF, it is called International Religious Freedom Congress.
Okay.
So where about, I think, more than 7,000, delegates from all over the world, from every religion and sect.
Okay.
Even in one religion, there are so many sects.
True.
Even in Christian, so many sects are there. Hindu, so many sects are there, like that. So the Dhoni Polo in Arunachal context, we had one, and we wanted to propagate and then at least disseminate, what is this Dhoni Poloism. So I was requested by Darden Chief Minister Kegmapang to represent. With me there was one from Galu community, one of course from Travel, who was the principal of Dhoni Polo Mission. So we went there and I participated in the workshop and presented the paper also. And basically telling them that what we believe, it's a nature worship, and Dhoni Polo, which means sun and moon, the physical sun and moon which we see is the manifestations of the spiritual Dhoni Polo. So I was trying to say that this even the entire universe is having 9 planets and all these things rotating around sun. Just see how powerful the sun is. And without sunlight, human beings cannot survive, possibly, even the plants and animals. So where there is no sunlight, if you plant a particular plant, it dies. Similarly, so the effect, the source of energy, the sun is there, and in that belief, we have a tradition of, Dhoni Polo, faith tradition is there, nature worship is there, different this thing. The spirits are also there within that, So it was a very good exposure, and then people, after having heard from my presentation, they took keen interest and to visit our place. And in fact, I could discover that Japan also Shintoism group, Shintoism it is called. They have this
concept.
Worship, and Egyptians also, I found they worship sun, moon. Sun, sun we treat as mother,
Mother, son, and Atapulon, father.
Moon is treated Pulon. I mean the father. So वो just opposite Egyptian लोग ना. तो sun को male, moon को माने female ऐसा type का. मतलब it's more or less all the same, belief in the report. Like that in the different parts of China में हम गया था, तो workshop के लिए गया था, तो देखा है तो all this the temples, the structures are facing east. I asked why it is facing east, because sun
rises from the
sun worship. So all over the world, and in India also, whether you talk about the Hinduism, 3 times the sun पूजा करता है, तो Buddhism का ऐसा है, मैंने सारा this revolving around. This is the most ancient, natural religion, I should say. So that's why we, when so many organized religions were starting their movement and all that, we thought that at least our identity should be shaped. Therefore, we started this Medanello movement, a little bit of some infrastructure have come up, where at least knowledge can be disseminated, inherited by young generations, workshop can be organized. Yesterday also I just came back from Nahalagan. They were organizing an orientation workshop on Medanello system. So we should at least encourage because our identity rests there, right?
Yeah, true, very true. And when we talk about Dhoni Polo, kahin na kahin our practices गायब होते जा रहा है. we get to see it every time जब मेरे को होता है नींबू नहीं है खत्म हो गया या फिर दूसरा वहाँ से उड़ से या दूसरा वहाँ से
And alternative is what? This is what we have worked out, you know.
So अभी क्या लगता है आपको in general also we should talk about these things also कि कहीं ना कहीं कम हो रहा है तो कैसे preserve करें इसके ऊपर भी what are your views?
We do documentation have to be done by this forum, no? Madonello, we have suggested that they should research, reform, and documentation because with the changing time and situation, we have to, you know, have some reforms, you know, to suit the requirement of the age. So otherwise, it will not survive, no?
Yeah, it
तो
won't.
पहले
That way
जमाना में लेंटी पहनता था और ये वो तो आजकल तो सूट पहन के हम लोग बैठा हुआ है तो उसी जमाना का वो करो बोलने से तो ये नहीं होगा ना इसीलिए टाइम्स में थोड़ा सा डायनेमिज्म आना है
and then we don't have a proper institution also for priests या ऐसा कुछ भी दोनों पोलो से related वाला we have Madonello also but as a proper institution नहीं है where we can actually someone can learn and इसको आगे बढ़ा सकता है post retirement, you are presently the chairman of ETIC and also member audit advisory board. तो उसका बताइए आप you're working again post retirement also.
Actually, I otherwise also while working in the regular department, I was associating myself in various ways, you know, whenever I get time. So after retirement. Many of the NGOs were just pressurizing me. Now you are free, be with us, like that. Then I have opted for this BKIC. This is called Vivekananda Kendra Institute of Culture, Arunachal chapter. I'm the chairman. And objective is that we need to document the same exercise of preservation of culture, faith, and all these things. So we used to organize seminars on different topics. This year we have proposed for organizing such seminar in Dapur region, for Takins. इसका आपत्ति के लिए तो हो गया था 2005 या 6 में when I was secretary to governor. I came here to attend that workshop. It's a cultural faith, continuity and change subject, something like that. So like that, then paper presentations from different scholars and all these things. So then documentation, then we just try to find out the element of unity with the Indian culture as such, community for national integration. So as a whole, so the Arunachal as a whole, and the country as a whole. So like that, this is an exercise for research, documentation, and cultural preservation. The same, almost the same exercise. So therefore, I'm happy that at least I can pass time, So that from time to time they keep asking me to attend some meeting or other. So recently we have had the privilege of organizing this C20
meeting.
C20 meeting at
right after G20,
banquet hall at Itanagar. One day workshop. Deputy Chief Minister was there as Chief Guest. Then later on, it's an international event. We have organized at Namsai, C20.
Just I think last month. Recently we had C20.
So the things I mean constructive with positive mind, and that keeps me alive.
So post retirement, what else are you planning? Are you engaging yourself?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I'm also you have mentioned the
audit advisory board.
State audit advisory. There is a state level, that Apex advisory board for auditing of various departments. The external, internal audits keep going for development departments and all these things. So AG office used to conduct that, so they have requested me to be one of the members being experienced in different departments, to prioritize as to how to go about way forward for the auditing system. So they used to call meetings annually twice or something like that, or as and when required. So that way I'm associated.
Okay. Okay. So, what else do you engage yourself post-retirement, Abhi?
Otherwise, I have my own traditional, residential properties, and so एक छोटा सा कीवी बागान भी है. उसमें टाइम पास हो जाता है, जाके कुछ कटिंग वटिंग करना है, क्या करना है, वो तो कांस्टेंट मॉनिटरिंग होता है ना. तो otherwise I have a small library where I can spend time reading something interesting to me. तो ऐसा करके एंड देन बीच में इतना हीरो में कुछ फंक्शन होता है. आगे हम लोग तो यहाँ नहीं था ना प्रैक्टिकली, वो तो प्रिपरेशन बाहर में ही था ज़्यादा. तो भाई लोग को बोल के टेलीफोन में ये करो वो करो बोलता था. अभी तो ये हम लोग खुद देख रहा है. आई कांट से नो. तो बहुत सारा फंक्शन, बाबू इंची हो या क्या क्या ईदा हो या क्या क्या, मैंने so many weeks देखते तो टाइम पास होता है.
चलो सही है. Now you like reconnecting also to a lot of other people. बच्चा लोग भी बहुत बड़ा हो गया होगा.
Adult now, independent. So I'm also now independent. They are not depending.
Okay. So in our last segment, I'd like to ask for your advice. Any advice that you want to address to our youth or viewers in general?
Yeah, well, as far as career, prospects like civil services, it's a very challenging job and one point satisfaction there, and it provides a lot of scope for contributing to society's growth and social development. तो इसमें civil service aspirants लोग मैंने they have over the years people are trying but very half-heartedly.
Okay.
So इसमें it requires a willpower, that I can do, I will do. One has to be very determined, focused, and so irrespective of any background, तो village school product है ना convent school या public school product है, that does not matter. So one has to work hard and can achieve. So my message would be to work very hard, be self-confident that I can do, and willpower. So there is no limit. Sky is the limit. One can achieve. That is my message to the youths. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that wise wisdom of yours. So thank you for joining us on our show today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So ending our today's show with the wise words shared by Mr. Hage Kojeen. Be confident, be determined, work hard, and you'll achieve your goal. So thank you for joining us on the Saturday show. Do watch us next week again, same time, same place. And special thanks to our venue partner,